Good night, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. Tyrell Ordain, aka the cricket rock star Debo here. Hope you all had a relatively good weekend. Today I'm talking about West Indies and Pakistan, and I'll tell you why. Yesterday, both teams played Australia and Bangladesh respectively in their opening games of T20 international series that took place in Jamaica and Dhaka. I'm starting with Sabina Park because the Aussies, for the fourth game on this trip so far, have defeated the West Indies again, this time in the first of 5 T20 encounters at Sabina Park by 3 wickets in what was a close encounter to kick off the 5-match series. Mitch Owen on T20 international debut, or should I say international debut, start for the Aussies with a rapid half century, helping his side chase down the target of 190, which was set by the West Indies after they posted 189 after being sent into bat by the Aussies. And they got off to a very strong start with openers Brandon King and Shea Hope providing a solid foundation. Then Roston Chase then accelerated the scoring with a brilliant 60 of 32 deliveries, which surprisingly was only his second T20 50 and his fastest 50 overall in T20 internationals. Now at the halfway mark, the West Indies, they were looking at a massive total. They were aiming at scoring over 200 plus at the halfway stage when they were 103 for 1. However, the typical West Indian collapse in the last 5 overs saw them lost their 6 wickets for just 30 runs, eventually finishing on 189 for the loss of 8 from their 20 overs. Now, this was after they were 103 for 2 at the halfway stage and 159 for 3 after 15 overs. And then the same old shippiness happened again. Ben Dorfis was the pick of the Aussie bowlers, claiming best T20 international figures of 4 wickets for 36, including 3 wickets in 4 balls in the penultimate over, which was the last over of his spell. In response, Australia's chase was anchored by debutant Mitch Owen, who announced his arrival on the international stage with a blistering 50 of 27 deliveries, which included 6 sixes. Cam Green, on return to the T20 team, also contributed a quick-fire 51 of 26. While West Indies managed to pick up wickets at regular intervals, including the scalps of Owen and Cooper Conley, some big hitting in the back end by Dwabshis and Sean Abbott in the last overs saw the Aussies reach its target with 7 deliveries remaining, finishing on 190 for the loss of 7. Gudakesh Moti was the most successful bowler for West Indies on the night with 2 for 29. West Indies, I thought at one stage, was aiming to get 200 plus, but by the time when Chase and Hope set the platform for the big hitters such as Powell, for the likes of Powell, Russell and the others to come, they literally made a mess of the platform that was set up by both Hope and Chase. Now Hetmeyer came in, played his usual cameo, but the rest of the batters, they struggled on what was an absolute flat deck against the Aussies. I know in the test series it was bowlers friendly, but the 189 West Indies scored wasn't going to be enough. Now had they had put an extra 20-30 runs on what was an absolute batting beauty, and speaking of which, had they did not make a mess at the last 5 overs where they lost so many wickets, they could have gotten around 220, 230 at least, and that would have made it a bit more difficult for the Aussies, given the fact that nowadays in T20, 200 plus and 250 are more than safe totals compared to in the old days where 160, 170 and 180 was more than enough. Had they did not accelerate in the last 5-10 overs, they would have gotten to around even 250. But look what happened. 27 runs was scored in the last 5 overs. Then Mitch Owen on debut, who by the way had an awesome last 9 months, he burst onto the scene in the Big Bash, remember, in that final where he scored 130 something to help the Hurricanes win their first ever title. He had an absolute whale of a time on debut, so did Cam Green, because they had the license to go fit. If you look at the scorecard once again, 189 for 8 West Indies after 20 overs. Shea Hope at the top of the order, 55 of 39 deliveries. Roston Chase, 60 of 32. He was the top scorer for the men in maroon. Ben Dorfis, 4 for 36 from his 4 overs. In reply, Australia 190 for 7 from 18.5 overs, Mitch Owing 50 of 27, Camp Green 51 of 26, Moti 2 for 29 from 4 overs. In the end, Australia did win the match by 3 wickets. Bangladesh hammered Pakistan after putting on a dominant display to defeat the men in green by 7 wickets in the first of 3 T20 internationals of the Dutch Bangla Bank T20 series that's happening at the Sher Bangla National Cricket Stadium, Mirpur, Dhaka. A disciplined bowling performance restricted Pakistan to a paltry total of 110, which was then chased down comfortably by the hosts, led by a brilliant undefeated half century from Parvez Hussain Imon. After winning the toss and sending the Pakistanis into bat, their batting lineup struggled to find momentum. Apart from Fakhar Zaman's 44 of 34, no other Pakistani batsman could make a significant contribution. Taskir Ahmed was the star for Bangladesh on the day, picking up 3 crucial wickets for just 22 runs. But the real star of the show for Bangladesh was Mustafizur Rahman. He chipped in with excellent figures of 2 wickets for just 6 runs from 4 overs to bowl the Pakistanis out in the final over with just 3 deliveries remaining. In response, Bangladesh faced an early scare, losing Tanzir Hassan Tamim and Litan Kumar Das, the captain, very cheaply. However, Parvez Hussain Imon stepped up, playing a calm yet aggressive innings. He forged crucial partnership with Tawheed Hidroy, 36 of 37, before guiding Bangladesh home with Zakir Ali, 15 of 10. Imon remained undefeated on a fluent 56 of 39, hitting 3 boundaries and 5 maximums as Bangladesh had reached 112 for the loss of 3 in the 16th over, securing a commanding victory with 27 deliveries remaining. Salman Mizar was the pick of the Pakistani bowlers with figures of 2 wickets for 23. Match summary: Pakistan 110 from 19.3 overs, Fakhar Zaman 44 of 34, Muhammad Abbas Afridi 22 of 24, Taskin Ahmed with figures of 3 for 22 from 3.3 overs, and Mustafizur Rahman 2 for 6 from 4 overs. Bangladesh in reply finished on 112 for the loss of 3 from 15.3 overs. Parvez Hussain Imon top scored with 56 of 39, Tawheed Hidroy 36 of 37, and Salman Mizar, the star for Pakistan on the day, with figures of 2 for 23 from 3.3 overs. In the end, Bangladesh winning the match by 7 wickets with less than 5 overs remaining. Now, Pakistan literally need to pick themselves back up after sweeping Bangladesh 3-0. Now, when Pakistan had played Bangladesh about a month or so back in Pakistan, they were absolutely dominant in all departments then. But the difference now, they're playing on slow pitches in Dhaka, and every time when you play on Bangladeshi conditions, you know it's going to be difficult. And yet still the Pakistani batters, except for Fakhar Zaman, failed to fire. There's been a lot of talk about boom and bust, but it's the same old Pakistan we've seen from even before when Baba and Rizwan came into the team. But no offense, this is a young Pakistan team that needs to be backed all the time. And the reason why I'm saying that this young Pakistan team needs to be backed, you cannot go back to the likes of Baba, Rizwan, Shaheen and those. They're the ones that were holding the team back and were doing politics in the side, compared to the younger set of players who have talent but they need time, given the fact that the Asia Cup and the T20 World Cup is not too far away. This is the side that you need to back, the youngsters in. Bangladesh, on the other hand, after losing the T20s to UAE, they have bounced back well against the Sri Lankans. The way how the team have been playing lately, I find they've been they're the ones, in my opinion, that needs to be watched very closely, and I want to watch out for next year when the T20 World Cup is played in India and Sri Lanka. This is Tyrell Ordain, aka the Cricket Rockstar Devo, signing off. Be good, my friends. Be cool. Stay frosty, and we'll continue. Take care.